there, welcome back. So recently I stopped at Starbucks and I have to tell you, the experience just wasn't the same. I mean, my Americano was fine and the music was great and the baristas were all smiling and friendly, but the experience, it just felt different. It was disappointing, thanks to one tiny little missing detail. When I ordered my Grande Americano, no room for milk, the smiling barista asked for my name. But instead of grabbing the Sharpie marker and writing it on the cup like usual, he punched it into the computer. I immediately felt this overwhelming sense of disappointment. I mean, in that moment, I became ordinary and insignificant, like everyone else in the place. Now, I know that the barista is not my friend, and I know that writing my name on a cup is not a way to validate a relationship, but from a customer experience perspective, it fulfills something for me and for you too. A guy named David Rock has defined 5 dimensions that activate the customer's reward or threat center in the brain and influence the consumer experience. His acronym, SCARF, makes it both easy to remember and understand. And that tiny little exchange where the barista asks for your name and smiles as he writes it on the cup checks all kinds of boxes for a satisfying human experience. So here's what it is. The first is status. And status is all about the relative importance to others. And writing your name on that cup instead of slapping a cold, impersonal, sticky ticket immediately raises our status. We're important, we're significant, we're different from everyone else. Certainty concerns being able to predict the future. And writing your name on that cup right there in front of you gives you a sense of certainty that a barista wants to prepare your cup of Java just exactly how you want it. The more transparently the individual steps of the experience are, the more positively it is received. Autonomy provides a sense of control over events. Having the freedom to wander the store while you listen for your name to be called meets your need for autonomy. And the more flexibility we have, the better we perceive the whole process. Relatedness is a sense of safety with others. You know, friend rather than foe, that smiling employee who delivers a personalized cup of goodness almost could be your friend, right? I mean, this dimension is about social belonging, which is a basic human need. And finally, fairness is a perception of fair exchanges between people. And the experience begins and ends with a very personal exchange that involves your name. From a neurological perspective, there are 3 chemicals at work, the happy trio: serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. Serotonin flows when you feel significant or important, and when our serotonin levels are low, that's when we're feeling depressed or lonely. Oxytocin is often called the cuddle drug, but it's released when we experience feelings of trust, and it's essential for healthy relationships and social interactions. And dopamine is the reward and pleasure chemical. That's what motivates us to take action towards goals and desires, and it gives us this surge of reinforcing pleasure when we get them, and it's also what drives us back to get it again some other time later. In the last few years, more and more research in neuroscience, cognitive psychology, and behavioral economics, and now most recently neuromarketing, has shed insight on those factors that influence consumer behavior. And what we've learned is it's not just the information that people have, but it's the way that information is presented that creates a satisfying experience. So, Starbucks, there are so many reasons why those cold, impersonal, sticky tickets are just wrong. Call me, let's meet for coffee. I'll tell you all about it. If you want to learn more about how the brain works and how to make it work better, check out my book, Happier Hour with Einstein, and the full-color companion gratitude journal, available now on Amazon. And if you enjoyed this Neuro Nugget, pass it on to someone in your corner of the world, because life is always better when we share the good stuff.